everybody. Welcome back to the show. Well, guess who has her own network? Oprah Winfrey.
That's right. It's launching in Canada. I believe tomorrow, Brent Furdyk joining us, editor of TV Week magazine, to talk Oprah and everything else on the TV. How are you?
OWN.
OWN. So it launches tomorrow, right?
Yes. Oprah Winfrey Network, Resistance is Futile.
They are having some troubles, though, down in the U.S.
Well, it launched in January in the U.S., and, you know, it started off with great ratings. Everyone was thrilled, but gradually they've sort of declined to the point that it's now actually lower in ratings than it was when it was the Discovery Health Network, which is what replaced it.
Now, what is the overall concept of Oprah's network? Because she does not have her show.
No, her show is in its final season. So after that wraps, I guess she's going to then devote more of her time to her network.
Yeah, what Oprah Winfrey Network needs is more Oprah Winfrey.
And they have actually discovered that. They did research and they thought, you know what? We thought we could build it around a brand and give people a couple of, you know, cornerstone shows and then put filler in. No, it doesn't work. They actually want Oprah.
It really is sort of either advice or self-help and what would you call it? Inspirational television?
Exactly. Inspirational. It's following the Oprah brand. And if you saw her interview with Pierce Morgan, her brand is love. Yeah. So that's pretty much what we're getting on the Oprah Network.
Well, let's talk about some of the shows themselves. There's one called Oprah's All-Stars. What is this?
Unfortunately, it's not sports, which would
I
be
thought
really
it would
cool.
be Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil in the octagon. No?
You know what? Pretty close actually. You got Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, and Susie Orman, who, although not a doctor, likes to pretend she's as smart as one.
Yeah.
And they will go into a studio audience and take viewer questions.
See, to me, this is kind of a good concept because you don't know what you're going to get, but they're stick handling everything quite a bit too, right?
Exactly. And again, this isn't a regular series. This is like, I think, a series of specials that people can look out for.
And what is Oprah Presents Masterclass?
Now, this is the closest thing you'll actually get to Oprah. So Oprah's in it. She's interviewing celebrities. I think she interviewed Jay-Z. She's talking to Simon Cowell. I think Maya Angelou. So it's pretty much like her show, only she's devoting a full, hour to celebrity interviews. So and again, that's sporadic, though. It's not an actual weekly series.
Yeah, and is that maybe part of the problem that the network's having as well? Is their schedule really sort of hasn't calmed down a little bit as well yet?
Yeah, I think they're still working out the kinks and trying to figure it out. I mean, this is her first network, and it's really the first time anyone has tried to build a network around a personality like that.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of Lisa Ling. They've got a show called Our America.
And this is probably one of the brightest spots on OWN. It's sort of a news magazine show where Lisa Ling goes out, does investigative reporting to different areas. Like she goes into a camp that's full of convicted child molesters that can't live in society because no one will let them, so they basically set up their own little camp in the woods, and she goes and talks to these people, and it's something that you generally don't see, and that's what she's going off the beaten path.
She's a great journalist, Lisa.
Very good journalist.
Well, and you're going to see a lot of catches from the show. I think to be fair, once the programming is sort of figured out and they really start seeing what works and what doesn't work, you're going to see some really good programming.
And I think really to watch the show, the network, you'll have to see what happens next year after Oprah's own show ends, and she can devote a little more time to it.
Well, and speaking of that, Oprah behind the scenes, because Oprah needs a reality show. So this is.
I love her though. This is one I would watch.
Oprah behind the scenes is kind of like what's going on right now.
I mean, this is like your typical reality show. It's they have cameras filming behind the scenes of Oprah's show, so you see what's going on. And what I find hilarious is that Oprah's all about inspiration and taking care of yourself and everything. And you see her producers who are all just like they're messes. They're like overweight. They seem like they're terrified of Oprah. They're just wrecks, And it's like not a lot of inspiration and aspiration going on there.
My brand is love. Work for it.
It sounds like it's a spoof, but it's not.
No. This is behind the scenes at the Oprah Network. Yeah, it does not look like a fun place to work.
Yeah, I've seen some clips online from it, and it's quite funny because everybody like the level of stress in that whole show. And
Oprah's coming. Everyone just sort of scurries to attention.
Nobody does that around here with me and Mike. Let's talk about Gayle King. She's got her own show.
But they should.
Gayle King, the BFF to top all BFFs, has her own show. Unfortunately, it's a televised version of the radio show that she already does on Sirius.
Whoa!
And there's a reason why radio shows aren't on television. Because nothing happens.
You mean radio's on radio for a reason?
Yeah, it's like when they do the sports simulcast from the sports stations and they just throw it on the sports network.
And the worst is when she's taking callers and she's sitting there staring off into space while a disembodied voice is...
it's cheap TV.
It's cheap TV, and unfortunately they got a budget. Even Oprah has a budget.
Gail needs some help too. She needs a leg up in the industry.
Okay, let's talk about some regular programming.
Regular shows.
American Idol, Steven Tyler, J-Lo, and the dog. What are your thoughts? What are the ratings? How are they doing?
Ratings are down, but put it in context, everything is down on network television.
Yeah.
It's still, beating everything else on the air. It's still the 800-pound gorilla it always was.
Yeah.
And I think they might actually be onto something in terms of breathing new life into it with Steven Tyler and J-Lo.
I agree with you, and I was quite critical after the first couple of episodes because it was, you thought, well, this, everyone's nice and it's kind of boring, but boy, it's really grown on me, and I've never really been a huge fan of the show, but I think they're doing a very, very nice job.
I think Steven Tyler particularly is really bringing a different sort of energy to the show. And, we've got some incredible talent. It sure seems to me that there's some interesting some competitors.
And J-Lo, a lot of people like me tune in to see her hair and makeup and what she's wearing, and sometimes Steven Tyler's wearing the same thing.
I love those floppy hats,
Right and I think, the key to success for that show has always been the personalities and how they work on the judging panel. And the three of them seem to work quite well together as well. I mean,
they do.
Both supportive, but, they can have a laugh at each other's expense sometimes too.
Yeah, and I think, I still do miss Simon. I miss that definitive voice saying what I'm thinking in my brain and not even realizing it, where it's like, yeah, that's how I feel too. Yeah. Nobody's really doing that. But, I think the real test is once they get into the live performance episodes, we're going to see the judges in that live setting. We're really going to get
How big a difference has it made for them to pare down to 3 on the judges? Because, boy, 4 and then 5, and, there's this whole lineup of people. Did they have 5 for a while there? Yeah, once they had Kara in there, and, they only had 4. Yeah, that's right, because...
Well,
she went.
I stopped watching for a couple seasons. I don't know what.
I forgot Paula dropped, and Ellen and Kara.
Yeah.
And
well, I think again, once those live episodes take over, that's where we really noticed the 4 judging panel was just too much.
Yeah.
So now it's pared down. I think if they can keep, everyone seems to be doing a good job of keeping things concise and quick and clear, which is what you need.
And we're running out of time, but we wanted to quickly talk about Celebrity Apprentice. Speaking of bringing the crazy.
Yeah, you want to talk crazy? I got 2 words for you. Gary Busey.
Good TV, though.
Oh, he's television gold, this guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's why this show has grown into such a winner as well, is because the personalities that they get on this program. I mean, it's strange and surprising to see how good some of them are, and just bananas on the other front.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to have that one person, whether it's one of the Baldwin brothers or or Gary Busey, who's just a little bit off.
A little?
And you stick them in there with the rest of the celebrities, and you poke them with a stick, and next thing you know, you got hornets buzzing around, and it's great television.
Well, thanks so much, Brent. You can check out TV Week online. The website's there for you right now. And OWN premieres locally March the 1st on Channel 92 if you want to check it out. And of course, Celebrity Apprentice premieres March the 6th on NBC.
Very nice. We're going to take a break.